FiOS 1 News.
Let me show you the consistency of the snow, what we're talking about here. And I'm going to pick some up for you. You can see it's kind of light and fluffy, but if you go outside and you try to brush off your car, there is a layer of ice on it now. Good morning, Nancy and Vanessa. Well, I'm on Hartsdale Avenue. It's cold out here, just 2 degrees here in Hartsdale. Now take a look. This is a window here on this bagel shop. We've got condensation because inside it's 70 degrees warmer. More pile driving for the Tappan Zee Bridge is scheduled through the weekend as construction crews continue their work on the bridge's new foundation. Investigators say it was 400 feet of electrified track that broke into pieces, spearing the train car in Tuesday's deadly collision. Hey, Kimberly, I'm going to get out of the shot. Take a look at the house. There's really nothing left to it. It was a quick-moving fire. Thankfully, no one was inside at the time. Now, we're told some of the victims are currently being removed from that train, which is why these buses are blocking the scene right now. Now, Governor Cuomo also spoke last night saying that this is the deadliest crash in the railroad's history. I'm on Route 118 here, Yorktown Heights. Take a look behind me. This is why you really shouldn't be on the roads right now. They're coated in snow, and now we're getting pelted with ice. If you make minimum wage, check your pay stub. You just got a raise today. I'm Steve Saunders in Port Chester. I'll have details coming up.
Steve Saunders is in Mount Kisco for us with the latest on the race for governor. Hi there, Steve.
Hey, Krista. Governor Cuomo cast his vote at 10:30 today here at the Presbyterian Church of Mount Kisco. He says he feels good about today.
Hey, Steve, what was it like for you to be driving on the roads of Yonkers this morning?
Oh, I've got one word for you guys: slippery. It was just so slick. Yeah, the bottom line is if you take the Beeline bus, you could be paying more soon. And county officials are hoping the public will weigh in on a set of proposed increases.
A fire is under investigation after flames gutted a multifamily home in Westchester, leaving the families out in this cold. FiOS 1's Steve Saunders has the story for us.
My brand new bed is damaged.
Building inspectors were on the scene Thursday inspecting the damage left over by the fire on Locust Hill Avenue in Yonkers. On Wednesday afternoon, the fire spread to Christina Morales' basement apartment.
Everything is damaged now. I'm just thanking God that I'm still alive.
Thankfully, everyone inside the house at the time was also able to get out alive. The Red Cross says 9 adults and 3 children were among the displaced. Take a look at this cell phone video courtesy of the Yonkers Fire Department. These raging flames broke out sometime before 4:30 on Wednesday. Resident Ronnie Green says he owns the house and has lived here for 32 years.
There was a fire right here in the doorway in his court. I don't know how it started or what it is.
Of course, the brutal cold was also a concern. A church just down the street worked with the Red Cross providing shelter for the displaced. More than 40 firefighters responded to the 3-alarm fire. Fire crews say the intensity of the flames made it difficult to fight the fire from the inside of the house. They did, however, rescue a cat from the burning building. By 7 p.m., fire officials say the main body of the fire was knocked down. Fire investigators are still looking into a cause. As for Christina, she says she'll be staying with family.
Keep us in prayer because everybody's on their own now.
We're told some of the other residents are currently staying in a hotel, and right now it's unclear whether this house will need to be torn down. Reporting in Yonkers, Steve Saunders, FiOS 1 News.
Christians around the world go for their Ash Wednesday ashes, which are usually given out in a church. But one West Nyack pastor has a different idea, a drive-through for ashes. Steve Saunders reports.
Call it a divine accommodation.
This is the first time I'm doing this. I'm kind of excited about it.
Pastor Daniel Ram waits in his car at the Clarkstown Reformed Church in West Nyack on this cold Ash Wednesday.
Good morning.
He was in charge of the church's drive-through from 7 to 9 a.m. for anyone hoping to receive ashes.
People can simply drive through the church property, and I'll be outside and distribute the ashes while people sit in their car.
While it's Pastor Ram's first year as the church's interim minister, this is the second year the church offered drivers their ashes on the go.
I think it's a great idea for anyone who cannot maybe make it into church. You have to get to work on time.
You're driving in, got your ashes, and now you're off too.
I'm off to work. I work in Montvale.
It's to make it available to as many people as possible. And then they can drive right to work or to school or to back home, whatever.
Ash Wednesday marks the beginning of the season of Lent for Christians, a time of fasting and repentance before Easter. The pastor also held a traditional service inside the church behind me. As far as people receiving their ashes here outside, church administration said about 20 cars used the drive-through. Reporting in West Nyack, Steve Saunders, FiOS 1 News.
The NTSB will soon be wrapping up their assessment of the crash site, with the next part of their investigation set to move to Washington. FiOS 1's Steve Saunders has more from Valhalla.
Investigators say it was 400 feet of electrified track that broke into pieces, spearing the train car in Tuesday's deadly collision. The driver of the SUV and 5 Metro North passengers inside the first rail car died in the fiery crash. On Friday, investigators said they also spoke to the train's engineer, Stephen Smalls, who is being hailed as a hero for saving lives that night. He told them he thought it was a reflection on the tracks, but then realized it was a car and a woman was behind the wheel. That's when he applied the emergency brakes.
He felt the collision. He did not recall hearing any explosion. He did say he noticed sparks.
What he didn't realize was that the third rail pierced his train car.
He said there was heavy smoke, and the fire was moving very quickly towards the front of the train.
And he told investigators he helped passengers get out and later got out himself. That's when he saw a man who couldn't walk trying to get out of the train car.
He picked the passenger up, grabbed him, held him in a fireman's pose, and turned around and handed him to an emergency responder.
And while the NTSB continues to investigate the crossing site, other questions still remain, including why the driver of the SUV put her car on the tracks. Reporting in Valhalla, Steve Saunders, FiOS 1 News.